Hey everybody, it's Kia. Welcome back to my channel. So today I figured I'd go ahead and share another YNAB video with you. I am still having issues with all of my computer equipment and my webcam and microphone and all that kind of stuff. So I have not been able to figure out how to film a new video of my actual planner itself. So in the meantime, I figured I would kind of talk a little bit more about YNAB, how I use YNAB, how we have it set up, and we would walk through another paycheck budget. As you can tell up top in green, I have two paychecks that I need to budget here inside of YNAB, and then I'm going to have a few little items that I need to clean up in the system as well. So let's go ahead and dive in. I don't want to make this a super long video, but I did want to kind of share a little bit more about how the system works and why I love it so much. So let's go ahead and dive in. Thank you for joining me today. If you are interested in trying YNAB, I did include a link down below. If you use the link, you can get a free month trial. And then if you do sign up for a free month trial, it also gives me 1 month free. So I figured it would just be a great way to share my love for YNAB with you guys by allowing you to play around with it for a month. So if you do have any questions and you would like to do YNAB, I am more than happy to help you get it set up and figure out a way to track your budget inside of YNAB. So let me know if you have any questions down below, but let's go ahead and dive in. So I did play around with being able to zoom in a little bit more on the screen so you guys can hopefully tell what I'm talking about. And I thought we would go ahead and start with this left pane over here. So over here, we've got budget, which is where I do most of my work inside of YNAB. You do have reports so that you can see your overall spending, money that's coming in, things like that. And you can look at all your accounts in one area. I primarily focus under budget, and these are the different savings accounts, credit cards, and checking accounts that I have set up. I do have two checking accounts. It's these two right here, Bank of America and Capital One. And then these items, the debt sinking fund, homeschool fund, auto sinking fund, and emergency account are savings accounts that I actually set up through Capital One. And whenever I budget for that money, I transfer it into those savings accounts. I do have a general sinking fund here, and I'm just kind of toying around with the idea of being able to consolidate some of these sinking funds. I don't necessarily need separate accounts for all of them, and I do earn a little bit of interest through Capital One. So I've considered consolidating them into a single savings account and tracking the different categories that we're budgeting for inside of YNAB, just so that maybe I can earn a little bit more interest because it would all be in one account. So I have kind of played around with that. I don't actually do anything with any this general sinking fund here or the general sinking fund here. They're just kind of holder accounts right now. But if I click on the Bank of America, it will actually take us to the check register. In the check register, I track the date of the transaction, what it was for. If it's just a transfer between accounts, I don't necessarily need a category. And then I can track the inflows and the outflows. And then over on the right-hand side, I can track whether or not it's cleared the bank. It tells me the cleared balance, the uncleared balance, and the working balance. So I use that quite a bit. I also go ahead and reconcile the accounts in here just to make sure that I do have everything posted. I think that's just the accountant in me. But each time you click on a different budget account in here, it's going to bring up a different check register. So this one's our bill pay account. We have had much more activity through our bill pay account than our checking account lately, which is great because that means that we are not spending as much money as we normally do. And then if I go ahead and I click over here, which right now I have it filtered. So let me clear that filter. I can see all the activity in my sinking fund account. Same thing with my homeschool fund account. And yeah, so I can see the individual transaction activity, which is pretty cool. But let's go ahead and change back to the budget. This is the main budget screen. It shows I have already budgeted $14.34 for the month. We have spent $31.17. We have more money available for budgeting, and then it shows me my total inflows. So that is what we are going to be doing today, is actually going through and budgeting that money out. So let me go ahead and zoom in so that you can see what we have going on. And just because I am zoomed in and you can't quite see what I have going on here, I am going to start from the bottom and work my way up just so that I'll be able to scroll and you'll be able to see everything. Generally, I start at the top and work my way down, but we'll try it this way. So, first things first is I have money set aside for um, savings. Now, we were going to be trying to pay off some more debt, but we've decided to change our goals up a little bit for this month. Sadly, our governor has rolled back our COVID um, restrictions, and everything is on shutdown right now. So because of that, instead of trying to pay off another credit card, we've actually decided that we're going to hold on to that money. I'm going to transfer it into the debt sinking fund. Worst case scenario, if we need to access that money, we can. And then if we don't, then as we get through the next month or two, then I will start working towards paying stuff off again. So in the meantime, we're just going to save it back. So I do have two different paychecks that I am budgeting here. So you're going to see me enter in two different dollar amounts. But originally out of my paycheck, I had allocated $215 to pay towards one of the credit cards. And then I allocated $330 out of one of my husband's account paychecks. So I'm just going to put that into our debt sinking fund. Like I said, I'm going to transfer that money into the account later, and we'll just kind of save it. Homeschool, I am still trying to build up our homeschool fund a little bit, so I'm going to put $60 towards that. And then actually I have another $120 set aside as well. So we're just going to put all of that into the debt sinking fund. Now, since I've taken care of the sinking fund accounts, I can go ahead and start going through the rest of the budget like I normally would. It's just with how zoomed in I am, there's no way you guys would have been able to see that if I would have done that last. So the first thing that I generally like to do when I am getting ready for a new budget is I like to go through and I like to clean up the variances for the things that I don't roll over. So items that I do roll over would be shopping, groceries, dining, things like that. If we have money left over, I just carry it over until the next paycheck. So it's kind of like my cash envelope. Certain accounts like auto fuel, any one of our credit cards, utilities, things like that. If I am under budget, I actually transfer that to my debt savings account. That way I can go ahead and use that money going forward towards an actual credit card, or just trying to be more thoughtful and scrounge up every penny that I can to apply towards debt. So in this case, what I want to do is I don't carry fuel forward. So I'm going to go ahead and click on fuel. And I want to move that one to my auto fund. So when I do that, it's actually going to transfer the money out of the spending account budget, and it is going to move it into my auto sinking fund. So now I have $58 in here, so I'm going to need to do a transfer between the two accounts, and that will bring me up to $433. Our goal is to get up to $500. Once I get up to $500, then I will probably start using that money for something else, but I figured $500 was a good starting point in case something comes up. We already need new windshields. Both of our windshields are cracked, and in case anything else comes up, like we need a new battery or a new starter, or any of those items. So moving back up to the bill pay account, I do have one item in red, so that means that I went over budget. So that is our dining out. I just like to keep dining out as its own little category inside of YNAB. I combine the two categories on our paper budget, but I do like to see how much money we're spending on dining out. So I am going to cover this over budgeted item with our groceries budget, because it's really all the same thing to me. But so groceries, we're going to carry that forward. Same thing with the household supplies. Shopping, I'll carry that forward. The entertainment and the medical, I do have a spending account buffer in here that I like to keep. It's not a whole lot, but it helps out a little bit. And then getting down into the actual bill pay account, I have my buffer account up front. We do have allowance money set aside that we haven't spent yet. We have our Christmas budget. Let's see, business account, that's for my accounting and my taxes. Kids allowance, I need to transfer some money over to them. We have a little bit money left over for pets, and I'm actually going to end up picking up more pet stuff from Walmart, so I'm just going to move it over to shopping. And then moving down, I have some money left over from Best Buy. I don't need an extra $3 there, so we're going to move that one to our debt sinking fund. Amazon store account, I'm going to move that one to the debt sinking fund. Discover, same thing. It was $1 under, move that. And, or I'm sorry, that was City, not Discover. And then Discover will stay there at the 80. So let me go ahead and shrink that up so that maybe you can see it. Nope, you cannot see it. So sadly, you can't see the bottom of my screen, but that's okay. We will kind of work around that a little bit, I guess. So the lowest one that you guys can see is the Capital One account right here. Below that, I do have some more credit cards that we're just going to be budgeting money towards. And then I have our student loan down at the bottom. Now, everything else we're just budgeting money towards. We're not actually spending money out of any of these categories at the moment. They'll be for bills coming up in the future. So now that we have everything kind of cleaned up, if I come back to the sinking funds, you can see that my debt sinking fund now has $692.88 budgeted towards it for the month. So that should give me an ending balance of $754.49. Like I said, we're just going to hold on to this money for a little while so that we can make sure that we're covered in case my husband's job gets suspended. But let's go ahead and start budgeting. So I am going to scroll up to the very top again. I am going to add in another $75 towards auto fuel. So it shows that it's a negative $58.90 because I had to carry forward last month and I transferred over the unused amount. So I'm going to add $75 and it's going to equal my new budget to be $1610. So it does show a negative amount when you do have money that carried forward. That's okay with me. I'm okay with that. I just kind of work around it a little bit. We're going to put $210 towards auto fuel. We need to put $35 towards entertainment to cover Spotify and Netflix. We're going to come back up to the top and put $150 towards groceries. And then I need to find my life insurance, which is down here. I don't really have them in order on my spreadsheet, sadly, but that's okay. Medical, we're going to add another $65 into medical. I do have a bill that I'm waiting on that I'm going to have to pay out of that. Shopping, I'm going to add in another $125 for shopping. And then I am also going to add in $165 for tobacco. We do need to place an order online. Coming down to telephone, I'm going to allocate $250 towards that. And then I'm also going to allocate another $100 towards utilities. That will cover our internet bill at the end of the month. Coming down to the bottom, which I know you can't see, sadly, I'll figure out how to kind of zoom in and track that a little better. I am going to put $50 towards student loan, and then I'm going to put $695 towards our auto loans. And then, because it's the middle of the month, I'm going to start budgeting for the bills that are going to come out at the first of the month. So I will have $50 towards Capital One. This one's the Visa account, so that's $80. $50 towards the Master account. JCPenney's, we have that one paid off. So because that one's paid off, I don't need it here anymore. So I'm going to hide it. That way I still have it in the future if I need it, but it's not in my primary budget anymore. State Farm, I'm going to allocate $70 towards that. And then we're going to have a couple more credit cards down here. So I need to put $70 towards Sam's Club, $35 towards Capital One, $25 towards the Capital One Visa, and then we're going to do $60 towards Chase and $25 towards Bank of America. And then coming up to the top, these are my husband's credit cards. He's got them set to come out of our regular checking account. So I'm going to allocate both of them. And that leaves me with $21.96 left over. That is actually the difference between what I budgeted for on our paychecks and what we actually received. I had a $2 difference on mine, and the remaining difference was for my husband. So I'm just going to allocate that towards the buffer. So now I have lots of green, which is nice. We've budgeted our money out through the end of the month. We've already started saving for those expenses that are going to happen at the first of the year, or first of the month, I mean, not the first of the year. And otherwise, I think we are all set up. So I am ready to start tracking what we're spending as our new bills come up. So that is how I use YNAB. That's how I have our budget set up. If you have any questions, let me know. I would love to help you. And I hope you give YNAB a shot. I have really, really enjoyed it. We actually started using YNAB in June, July, I think. And it has made a world of difference in the way I really process how we're spending our money. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you again next time. Bye, you guys.